What's going on, everybody? It is Tuesday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I am GunzPicks, and I am wearing the shades. Why? Because it's tournament season, baby. Fire and shots time, as I call it. This is Christmas Eve to me, okay? March Madness is the best holiday on the planet, especially that first weekend, and I am so excited. Big plans coming on this one. Going on location tomorrow. Gonna do a show every single morning during this time, and I'm telling you guys, we're gonna be dominating, cashing tickets, hitting those gunshots, and it's gonna be an absolutely electric time. And I am so excited. But this is the late night bangers edition. Didn't know what to call this one, if I should call it breaking ankles or late night bangers. I don't have any other late plays today, but I want to talk about the Thursday preview here and maybe even get in some chat about who we think we're going to win the big dance here. As we're always going to the chat. Yeah, boy in the building. What's going on, my friend? How you doing this Tuesday? Groovy Caps. What's up, dog? Danny Delp in the building. Sup, my guy? Man, oh man. I got 3 plays for you. But guess what? I'm going to give you a couple more tomorrow, but I'm going to do it on location. I want to get the feel of the board. I want to see where the market's going. I have these early lines that I took. Okay. So some of these lines may not, it's like I try to pick the lines that still kind of exist, whether it be a half a point or so, thinking those lines would, not jump or anything like that. But I'm going to give you what my lines are here, and I'll give you my opinions if the line is moved. If you see it move, please let me know as we're going through the plays here. But let's just get this thing rolling right now on this Tuesday night. And let's start this off with an interesting play here. We have Furman versus Virginia. This game does tip off very early in the tournament here. Not the first tip off, because I think the Maryland game does tip off. Maryland, Arkansas, I believe. I can't remember if those two play, but I think that's it. Furman, Virginia. They're playing in Orlando, Florida. Amway Center here, 12:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Listen, I'm going with the favorite on this one. I'm going with the tried and true ACC -5.5 as a play. Let me tell you why. Listen, UVA is getting punished here. They played Duke, and they lost the ACC championship, okay? They're getting punished. They're getting put into the 4 position. And I think not deservingly so. They did what they were supposed to do in the rest of the tournament. They dominated Clemson. They dominated UNC, but they faced a red hot Duke team in the wrong spot, in a revenge spot, controversial play type of situation. Duke remembers, and Duke dominated in a court that they are very familiar with. Now they're playing a Furman team. Now everybody loves Furman. Southern Conference Championship, big win over Chattanooga. I know where they're coming from. But let's break these teams down from a statistical analytics here. Furman's offense, 33rd in offensive efficiency, 11th in field goal percentage, 150th in offensive rebounds, 123rd in the country in free throw percentage. However, they are facing a UVA team that excels on the defensive side. They're 25th in defensive efficiency, 78th in defending shots, 40th on the boards. They do allow a lot of their teams to get to the line, but you're playing a middle-of-the-road free throw shooting team in Furman. Doesn't worry me at all. Now let's look at where the outlier is here, folks. It is the Furman defense. They're 183rd in defensive efficiency, 181st in defending shots, 115th in defensive rebounds, 138th in allowing opponents to get to the free throw line. Now, everybody thinks that UVA doesn't have an offense. They played really piss poor versus Duke, but Duke just got into their face and played their best defense of the year. UVA's offense is 74th in the country in offensive efficiency, 140th in field goal percentage. Not a great rebounding team on the offensive side, and free throw shooting, lackluster at best. But you have them coming off a bad situation into a game where they're going to be pepped up for this one. And guess what? This team, the coach, the experience factor, there are players still on that team that won a national championship, folks, especially the point guard. So remember that experience is everything, where Furman does not have. And also, strength of schedule here, folks. Furman's strength of schedule is ranked 271st in the country, where UVA's was ranked 78th. I know everybody gives UVA shit about their strength of schedule, but let's give Furman a little bit of shit for their strength of schedule because they didn't play anybody all season long and they still put up the stats that they did. And granted, I was a big Furman fan as far as covering within the conference. I'm not a fan when they're going outside the conference here. Furman's biggest win of the season out of conference was South Carolina. You know how bad South Carolina was, and they got a close loss versus Penn State. I'll give them that. But they had a 19-point loss to NC State, folks. This is not a team that you want to back here in this situation. UVA is also 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 neutral site games. There's a reason why the line has not moved, and people are pounding Furman to an egregious amount. I think they're going to lose their money. I think the books are going to win on this one, so I'm going to be going with UVA as the favorite here, -5.5 as the first play. Firing shots across the bow, and we're trying to dominate the bookies here on a Thursday. Groovy Cap says grab Pitt money line +140. Listen, I just posted a play. I told you to take him at +2.5 before the game tipped off. So hopefully you jumped on it. Looks like the game is 25-24 as we speak, as my camera moves off the lakes. Okay. Let's go into the next play here, folks, on the Thursday. This is another Thursday play. Utah State versus Missouri. This plays at Golden One Center, Sacramento, California, 1:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This game tips off, and I know what the Mountain West does. They don't perform well in tournament play, but I like this Utah State team. I love the Aggies here, -1.5, and I'm taking them. Sorry, I don't trust Missouri at all. Utah State coming off a loss in the Mountain West Championship to San Diego State. I think they lost 2 out of 3 versus San Diego State all year. Missouri, on the other hand, lost to Bama in the semifinals by 11 points, who obviously you saw what Bama did in the SEC Championship. They absolutely dominated. But let's break these two teams down from a KenPom standpoint here. 13th in Utah State, 13th in offensive efficiency, 12th in field goal percentage, 11th in three-point shots, 219th on the offensive rebounding, and 29th in free throw percentage. So you really have a good shooting team here in the Aggies. But you have not a great defense here for Missouri. They're 178th in defensive efficiency, 274th in defending shots, 362nd in defensive rebounding, 335th in allowing points, allowing opponents to the free throw line. So really the advantage on this one is going to be on the Aggie side. And the way that they shoot, they're going to get a lot of open looks. It's going to be bad for the Tigers here. And quite frankly, I just think Utah State has the edge on both sides. I can tell you that the Missouri has good offense, though. They're 10th in offensive efficiency, 17th in field goal percentage, 234th in offensive rebounding, and 42nd on the free throw line. But Utah State just has a better defense than Missouri does. They're 64th in defensive efficiency, 56th in field goal percentage, 36th in defensive rebounds. They do allow opponents to the free throw line with 299th in the country as far as that goes. But from a statistical standpoint, Utah State played a tougher schedule than Missouri, and they had better statistics. They strength of schedule is 57th, whereas Missouri's was 80th. Plus, you got to consider the fact that they're coming off a loss, and Utah State is 7-1 against the spread in their last 8 games, 5-2 against the spread on neutral site games. I just think they're a little bit hungrier on this one. I know the Mountain West has underperformed in these spots. I just think they're going to turn it around here, and Utah State is a little bit different. And I think San Diego State is one of those teams as well that is a little bit different than teams in the past. So I don't know if I exactly trust the trend when it comes to Mountain West teams. Also, you got to consider this. A 10 seed is favored over a 7 seed. I mean, the books know, folks, who the better team is here. So I'm going to go ride the better team on this one. I'm going to go with the Aggies here. Utah State -1.5 as my second play for this Tuesday night. Bang, bang, bang. And I see 7 of you guys watching me live here while there's still action on TV. So I appreciate that so much. But if you've never subscribed to the Sports Wagering Network channel, please do so right now and hit the like button and hit the bell so you always know when we go live on this channel. Listen, there's going to be tons and tons and tons and tons of content that's going to be this week, and you don't want to miss out on any plays, anything that's going to be going on. I am going to fill the board and dominate all through this tournament. Cashing, baby. Ow! And you're going to hear that a lot. A lot of tickets are going to be cashed during this weekend. But let me give you one more play. before I shut it down and take the lonely drive to my location tomorrow. But let's talk about this one. Colgate versus Texas. 7:25 Eastern Standard Time. This game tips off in Wells Fargo Arena, Des Moines, Iowa. And I know Texas is coming off an egregious fat belly, I am full like Thanksgiving type of win versus their, I guess, their rival this year in Kansas. But they're playing a Colgate team that is just as hungry, if not hungry, and starving in this one. And you're getting a 13.5 in this spot. But guess what? I'm going to be taking Colgate on this one, plus 13.5 in this spot. Colgate coming off an easy and dominating conference tournament, the Patriot League. Each game they won by an average of 18 points per game. So they absolutely dominated the tournament. They've absolutely dominated the conference. They absolutely deserve to be in this spot. Now, Texas coming off a dominating win over Kansas, like I said, in the Big 12 championship, beating them by 20 points here, folks. This is a happy team. This is a satisfied team. This is a comfortable team with their feet up on the ottoman. And they're going to be playing a team that is going to that they're going to be caught sleeping, and they'll be lucky to get out of this with a win within the number. I say I'm not saying that Colgate has the ability to win the game. I just say when you have a fat and happy team going against a team that's hungry, an underdog, you might be caught sleeping on this one. And Texas has underperformed in tournaments in the past as well. I'll get to that in a second. Let's talk about the statistics here. Colgate's offense, 44th in offensive efficiency, number 1 in the country in field goal percentage, 18th, 16th in giving up the turnovers. They take care of the basketball. 286 in offensive rebounding. That is a problem, and they're not great on the free throw line either. 335th in free throw percentage. But this is a team that can shoot the ball really well from the floor, so I trust that to get them by here and keep the game a lot closer than what people expect. Now, Texas's defense, from a statistical standpoint, I can't deny what Texas is. They are a good team on both sides of the ball. From a number standpoint, 11th in defensive efficiency, 57th in defending shots, 226 in defensive rebounding, which is going to be key here. Maybe Colgate can get some second chance opportunities versus this Texas team. 224th is allowing opponents to the free throw line. Doesn't matter how bad Colgate is on the offensive, on the free throw line, they're going to get opportunities. That's a fact. Texas is aggressive on the defensive side. Now the offense for Texas, 18th in offensive efficiency, 65th in field goal percentage, 192nd in offensive rebounding, and 52nd in free throw percentage. But Colgate's defense, that's going to be a problem. This is a reason why the line is over 10 here. 231st in defensive efficiency, 254th in defending shots, 20th in defensive rebounds. They can rebound on the defensive side. I'll give them that. 46th in allowing their opponents to the free throw line. There's stuff that Colgate does well. There's stuff that Colgate just can't do well because maybe there's not enough athleticism and enough aggression on that defensive side of Colgate. However, the team can shoot the rock, which I like. Plus, you got to know what Texas does in these tournaments. They're 7-19 against the spread in their last 26 tournament games, and they're on a 1-11 against the spread run in their last 12. This is a team I will not back right now. I'm not saying that they can't win this game. I think they're a team to kind of float along here in the tournament, especially in the bracket they're in. I just think this first game coming off that humongous win, winning the Big 12, high fives all around, champagne bottles and caviar dreams. I think they're going to fall asleep in game 1, and I think it's going to be here, and there's a reason why the line is going in the other direction and not towards the Texas side here. So give me Colgate here, plus 13.5 as my third play for the early shots here on the late night bangers edition. So once again, those are going to be the plays tonight, and I can't believe the chat has shut their mouth and not given me anything to go off of here. I mean, do we have any other plays that we like here? What are we drinking? What are we smoking? What are we doing on this Tuesday night? I know it's a Tuesday and it's a little bit lackluster and everybody's still working and coming off that Monday. But man, you got to wake up because tourneys are coming right around the corner. And before you know it, you're going to be sitting at work wasting time and staring at a live feed on ESPN while you're trying to look at a spreadsheet from what your boss needs you to finish by Friday. Whatever. I don't know. But I tell you what, I'm going to be sitting there looking at every single TV. I'm going to be betting, and it's going to be an absolutely beautiful tournament, and it is my Christmas, baby. So to recap for you guys, we're going to go UVA minus 5.5, Utah State minus 1.5, and we're going to go Colgate plus 3.5. Give you those early lines here really quick. It's a Tuesday, so those lines are going to be up and down, moving as we get closer to tip off on a lot of these games. So grab them while you can. Now Groovy Cap goes VCU plus 5 Friday. That's a tough game. That's something that I'm going to probably look at a little bit further. Probably Thursday, probably Friday morning. I'll give my opinion on that one. But that is a game that I have circled. I know what VCU does. They're 15-5 against the spread in their last 20 in tournament play. But coming off that big win versus Dayton, coming off winning the conference, maybe their bellies are a little bit too full, and they're going to be playing a team that is ready and hungry to take them out. Your boy says, what's your upset? Right now, I think there's two, and I think they're in the same bracket. I have a feeling that Drake's going to get it done there, and I got him at plus 3.5 when the line came out. I know it dropped down, but I also like Kent State. I think Kent State's going to play Indiana, I believe, an Indiana team that I really don't trust. I haven't trusted all year, but I very much trusted Kent State, and they still have the dynamics to not only on the defensive side but the offensive side to get it done. And by God, do MAC teams do reasonably well in the tournament. So I mean, I do believe Kent State is the best team in the MAC. Obviously, winning the conference. I didn't think it was Toledo, even though they were ranked number 1. So I think that's going to be one of those, I would say, circle plays as a potential upset with that low line. Dan at Delp says, like anything in the NIT. Yes, I did put 3 NIT plays out today. I think they're all in play right now. So I know I hit 2. I think I put 3 and I hit 2. So I have one remaining. So go check that out. Slack link is in my bio. I will be putting NIT. I'm not going to really talk about NIT plays on the shows, but I will put them out on the Slack just as special 1-unit plays. So go check that out. If you haven't been on the Slack, go check. Just hit that link in my bio. IU versus Kent State. I just talked about that one. I like Kent State. VCU's defense will shut down St. Mary's has a good defense too. They're coming off a bad loss to Gonzaga. They're a little bit hungry. I think a lot of people are telling me, and I hear a lot of the pundits, I hear a lot of commentators saying that St. Mary's ain't nothing. Well, then, I mean, what has VCU really done? I was like, I don't really think that either, but I want to say that St. Mary's might be the play on that spot. I haven't got there officially yet, but I think that's going to be something that I would lean to at this point right now, because I just think that VCU, granted, as good as they've been, I understand that. I just think they're going to overlook this St. Mary's team altogether, even though they're technically the dog. Tenant Dub says, yeah, well, listen, they got to play the games. It's not a gimme, right? They have to play the games. And I saw what Indiana had to do to come back versus Penn State. I don't know. I don't know if I really trust that team. I've seen from Kent State, however, is very disciplined ball, and I think they can get it done here. And Zergan says Arizona by 20. Not a game I'm going to be touching this one. I do, however, like Arizona to make the Final Four. I think they are fully equipped in there. They have Ballo, who is an absolute problem inside. He's more of a problem than Edey is in Purdue. I think that guy can move better. He can shoot better. He can pass better. And Edey's just a big gummy body that will get a lot of 3-second calls on neutral floors that he didn't get in the Big Ten, because he was just hugging the paint. And I think that Arizona, to me, is a little bit more equipped, not only on the guard side, but on the inside factor. It's going to be a problem for a lot of teams going forward in the tournament. But I also said, as I just put this out there for the futures, for anyone that didn't see it, I put it on Twitter. I did put a future in for Duke, and I did put a future in for UConn. The Duke one has me a little bit nervous. I know they got to play Oral Roberts first game, but if they can get past that first game, they got Tennessee, then they got Purdue, and I think they match up well versus those two teams altogether. And I think when it comes to that, the way this team is playing right now, the way that John Shire's got those guys moving, I think they are fully equipped and disciplined to those teams that I remember seeing get to the Final Four for Duke, okay? Call me crazy, call me wrong. That's fine with me. Embrace debate, and you can also shit on me if they lose to Oral Roberts, because I've been wrong before on these teams. That's the beauty of March Madness. But as far as betting game to game to game, I'll get you above water. That's the goal here, folks. So thanks for joining me on this late night bangers edition for the Thursday plays. I'm going to try to do a show tomorrow. Need to get set up, need to check the internet, just make sure everything is clean. But I guarantee I'll be doing content nonetheless for you guys and give you the plays that pay the bills. I always fire shots no matter what, win, lose, or draw. But we're going to be dominating this tournament. Believe me here. All right. So that's going to do it, folks. See you next time tomorrow. Please join us for this one. I might get Dabby Cab to come in with me. He was a little bit busy doing his hustle, as he always has to do, but we will get him in on a lot of these as well. So good luck with your plays tonight. Let's dominate the board, baby. And as always, let's keep dancing. Bang.